dissident, if you're talking like I'm talking right now and the powers that be don't like it, you can't escape. If international interoperable digital IDs become mandatory, humanity will become trapped in a digital gulag. Nothing will chill free speech more quickly than having social media posts tracked through artificial intelligence and mandatory digital IDs.
Flock cameras are the main thing that law enforcement uses now to catch criminals. That's what it is. As clear as I can say it. What we'll do is I'll put a picture of the flock camera on this so that you'll see it. But they're everywhere. Once you see this thing, you're going to realize that you see them everywhere. It is a camera that is positioned to capture your license. That's what a flock camera is. But these cameras capture more than your license. They can capture the interior of your vehicle as you drive by these cameras, especially the positioning of the camera. And it's legal. And so what happens is this camera captures your tag. And when it captures your tag, it's able to detect where your vehicle has been anywhere in the United States where there are flock cameras. If you're in Georgia and you travel to New York, every time your vehicle tag gets captured by a flock camera, it is into a database and there is...
My ministers will also proceed with the introduction of digital ID that will modernize how citizens interact with public services.
It feels like the world is incredibly chaotic right now. We see wars breaking out, crypto markets are collapsing, scandals are being exposed. It feels like everything is happening all at once. But I have to wonder if all of this noise is actually a distraction from something much bigger. While we are looking away, governments are quietly building a system that will change how we live forever. That system is the enforcement of digital ID. At first it sounds harmless. A modern ID system that lives on your phone. No more wallets, no more documents. One card that proves everything about you. Simple, clean, convenient. The United Kingdom is already calling their version the Brick Card. It is basically a digital identity for every citizen. Your car, your bank accounts, your medical history, your investments, even your property documents, all linked to one ID, all stored on a blockchain so nothing can be changed or erased. On the surface, this sounds fantastic. You will never have to carry a wallet again. You will never lose your ID because it is all stored safely on the blockchain. It is ultra convenient and secure.
First and foremost, I start off by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Kwakadash, the Bonus apostles, elders, bishops of Great Millstone who rule well and also taught me this truth. Shalom to you, Akim, out there laboring, risk your life and your freedom to do so in truth and sincerity. Shalom to the Aquaf, the few sisters that listen in silence, as the scriptures say. I'm Karab, Children of the Light, with another lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua. Fair use, fair use. And this is where we're headed. You know, we're already there. The infrastructure is already set up for the new world order, which is the digital world. And there's no way around it. You're not getting past it, you know. You're not getting past it whatsoever because it is the will of the Heavenly Father. And he's using the wicked, the Edomites, you know, to push this. You know, the whole world is going to be subject to this. And ultimately the Charagma.
However, this convenience is exactly how they will get you to sign up. Once you are in the system, the government introduces programmable money. This is not like the digital banking you use today. This is money that has rules built into it. Imagine a world where the government can program your money to work only in certain areas. If you say something online that offends the wrong person, they could restrict your spending. They could stop you from buying travel tickets or limit how far your electric car.
Like that interview with Nick Rockefeller and Aaron Russo, total control, you know, and that's exactly what these demons want. These devils want. They want total control. Okay. Bear with me though, real quick. Let me see. This is Revelation 13 and 15. And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast. And the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many would not worship the image or Salakia, as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed, right? And that image is being a part of this society, you know. Everybody's so obsessed with their social media image, you know. That's why people go out and buy expensive cars that they can't afford, you know, or go through these universities for prestige diplomas, you know, because of their image, you know. It said, and he calls all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark. That mark, going to their word, is charagma, in their right hand or in their foreheads. Don't get too caught up on right hand, because that just means your dominant hand. They're already doing it in Switzerland. And that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. And when you go to those, when you go into barcodes, every barcode has 666 in it, you know. And that's what's coming, you know. That's why everything is leading up to digital. Total control, a totalitarian society where you won't have rights, you know, where you can't go against the government. And they slowly but surely have been chipping away at the Constitution, you know, with the ICE raids, you know, that go against the Fourth Amendment, you know, freedom of speech. You know, that's done, because you can't even criticize certain groups, you know. You can't say certain words. YouTube flag us on a daily basis, you know. Not just our camp, but all the camps, you know. Well, not all the camps, but mainly GMS and anybody that teach the GMS doctrine, you know. Bear with me. This is the definition of Annuit coeptus novus ordo seclorum are Latin mottos on the Great Seal of the United States, and the back of the $1 bill, that translate to "He approves of the undertaking" or "favors our undertaking, a new order of the ages." You know, see, that's that new world order. It's on the back of your dollar bill. It's not there for decoration, you know, but the average American mind is fried. You know, GMO food, medicals in their metals in their lungs, and microplastics, forever chemicals. You know, no nutrients. You know, these people are bugged out. You know, they're sick, so they don't understand what's going on. They just going through the regular day course of life, of being that hamster on the wheel, you know. But the water y'all by Hashem Yahushua for giving us the eyesight, you know, to see these things. That's why Yahushua said, "Blessed are your eyes, for they see, and blessed are your ears, for they hear." You know. All right. It said, "Nuit coeptus." He approves, favor our undertaking. Indicates that God or providence has favored the creation of the United States. Why? Because it's the military state. It's the hammer of the earth. You know, it spreads the diplomacy. It spearheads the agendas. Novos Ordo Seclorum, new order of the ages, right? And when you go into that word ages, it goes into the word world. It means eon, you know, meaning a time. Coined by Charles Thomson in 1782 from Virgil's poetry, it signifies the beginning of a new American era starting in 1776, referring to a new era of freedom and democracy, which goes into all the way up until today, you know, going to Adam Weishaupt, you know, and him creating the Illuminati, going to Albert Pike, you know. Matter of fact, I'm going to Albert Pike. Okay. It says Albert Pike was one of the most prominent and influential Freemasons in American history. A 19th century lawyer, writer, and Confederate general. He devoted decades to studying Masonic philosophies and expanding the organization. And it just don't stop then, right? It's the beginning. They set plans and motions throughout the generations, you know, of where things is heading, right? So Albert Pike wrote a letter to Mazzini explaining the 3 world wars, you know. All right. Let's go into it. All right. Here it is right here. And we're just going to jump to the Third World War. The Third World War must be fomented by taking advantage of the differences caused by the agenda of the Illuminati between the political Zionists and the leaders of the Islamic world. And that's what's happening right now with Israel and Iran, right? What a coincidence, right? No, it's not a coincidence. There's no such thing. It's a conspiracy. They're conspiring these things in the shadows. The war must be conducted in such a way that Islam, the Muslim Arab world, and political Zionism, the state of Israel, mutually destroy each other. Meanwhile, the other nations, once more divided on this issue, will be constrained to fight to the point of complete physical, moral, spiritual, and economical exhaustion. And that's what they doing. They going against the resources. They're targeting infrastructures, minerals, oil. In the book of Sirach, there's a thing that says 7 principal things that a man must live by. And that's what they're trying to destroy. Because they're going to charge you for it later. You know, we shall unleash the nihilists and the atheists, and we shall provoke a formidable social cataclysm, which in all its horror will show clearly to the nations the effect of absolute atheism, origin of savagery, and of the most bloody turmoil, right? And remember, the scriptures say that the time of Jacob trouble is going to be a time of trouble as if it's going to be a time of trouble as if since there's been a nation, you know, signaling to us what this time is going to be like. It say bloody turmoil. Then everywhere the citizens obliged to defend themselves against the world minority of revolutionaries will exterminate those destroyers of civilization, and the multitude disillusioned with Christianity, who deistic spirits will from the moment be without compass or direction, anxious for an ideal. And that's what's going on right now. You know, the Christian church is without direction. These niggas don't know what the fuck they believing in. They don't even know what to believe in. They really believing in money and Esau. Anxious for an ideal, but without knowing where to render its adoration, will receive the true light through the universal manifestation of pure doctrine of Lucifer, brought finally out in the public view. And that's what's happening, right? Because once they set up this digital ID and this totalitarian system, because what's happening is they setting up a digital prison around you. And you're going to be willing to take the charagma, which is going to make you a instrument of Satan. You know, you automatically disqualify yourself from salvation when you receive that mark. You know, and it tells you that in Revelation, the 14th chapter. Let's go to it real quick. Okay, this is Revelation 14. And I'm going to start at 9. And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, right? You receive that, what is it? The Neuralink, or get any type of micro C-hip implanted in you, right? The same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of the Most High, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation. Indignation means his righteous anger. And he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone, right? With those missiles, ICBM missiles, hypersonic missiles, in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. See, that's the consequence of accepting that man digital right? Because in the ancient world, you love your master, you would and you didn't want to leave, right? Hold on. Matter of fact, let me get it. Here it is right here. This is Exodus 21 and 5. And if the servant shall plainly say, hold on, let me start at 4. Let's start at 2. If thou buy a Hebrew servant 6 years he shall serve, in the 7th he shall go out free for nothing, right? And that's the same thing with your credit. You file bankruptcy, or rather you don't file bankruptcy, whatever harsh thing you have on your credit or delinquent, in 7 years is supposed to fall off, you know, and that's biblical. If he come in by himself, he shall go out by himself, right? If he were married, then his wife shall go out with him, right? If you married the woman before you went to go work for whomever the master was, right? If his master have given him a wife, and she born him sons or daughter, the wife and her children shall be her masters. And that's what we're experiencing in Babylon, America, aka Babylon, because the woman don't belong to you nor the children. You know, go look up the UCC creditors. You know, go look up maritime law, right? Go look up why your name is in all caps on a birth certificate. You know, go look up why your children's names is all caps in a birth certificate. Go look up why you even have to get a birth certificate, right? Okay. And he shall go out by himself. And if the servant shall plainly say, I love my master, my wife, and my children, I will not go out free, right? And that's why Yahweh Shah said, hey, he that love his wife or his mother or his father or his children more than me is not worthy of me. Then his master shall bring him unto the judges. And remember that when the Plan D happened, you know, the thing that happened, y'all remember what happened in 2020? Oh, you can't work. You know, oh, I did it so I could feed my family. Whatever your excuse is, right? This is the result. This is going to be the consequence of your action, right? Because you don't have any faith. You're not rooted, established, and built up, built up and established in the faith. Then his master shall bring him unto the judges. He shall also bring him to the door, unto the doorpost, and his master shall bore his ear through within all, and he shall serve him forever. And that's the point. When you receive that mark, you're basically saying, this is my master, the course of this world, Satan, and you're gonna serve him forever. And the Lord is gonna destroy you. You know, point blank, period. There's no way around it. You know. So let me jump back here real quick This is Psalm 83, 83rd chapter. Because remember, I said that this is a conspiracy because, yeah, these nations are coming together to conspire to do this all over the world to establish a one world order. You know, this is Psalms 83 and 1. Keep not thy silence, O Yahweh, by Shem Yahushua, hold not thy peace and be not still, O power. For lo, thy enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against thy hidden ones. That's a conspiracy. They conspired. They have said, come and let us break them off from being a nation. Excuse me. That the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee. And his name in all the nations. The tabernacles of Edom, the Ishmaelites of Moab, the Hagarenes, Gabal, Ammon, and Amalek, the Philistines with inhabitants of Tyre. So you have your so-called white people, so-called Arabs, so-called Asians, so-called Africans, so-called Chinese, so-called Japanese, all conspiring together, you know? And that's why they hold those forums, if you're familiar with them, you know? That's why Henry Kissinger say by 2030, you'll own nothing and be happy, you know? And it's our job to shine the light on this because this is not the first time this has happened. This is Genesis 11. The whole world, the whole earth was of one language and of one speech. And it came to pass as they journeyed from the east, they found place in the land of Shinar, and they dwelt there. And they said to one another, go to, let us make brick and burn them thoroughly. And they had brick for stone, and slime had they for mortar. And they said, go to, let us build us a city and a tower whose top may reach unto heaven, and let us make us a name, lest we be scattered abroad upon the face of the whole earth. You know, and that's what they're doing. They're trying to build a one world order, which the Heavenly Father is gonna let them succeed up into a point. You know, He's gonna allow them, you know, to pretty much, you know, do their thing. And then he's going to take them down, right? This is I'm gonna start at 20. I gotta make it quick because I gotta go to the plantation. Bear with me. Start at 22. In the fullness of his sufficiency, right? So in the fullness of his new world order, he shall be in straits. Every hand of the wicked shall come upon him. When he's about to fill his belly, right? It's like when you watch those movies where the villain, he set that timer, right? And then he jump in the helicopter and the hero is there with the bomb, and the hero always managed to stop the detonation of the bomb, and it's always at 1 second left on the clock. You know, that's going to be the same in this case. You know, because he's gonna be able to put his chip into majority of the world. Okay, it say when he's about to fill his belly, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua shall cast fury of his wrath upon him, and shall rain it upon him while he is eating. Right. So that's it on that. You know, it's a beautiful time to be alive, man. You know, because we're witnessing their last stretch of their empire. You know, it's over with. You know, we got a matter of months left, like the apostles say, whether it be 6 months, 12 months, 18 months, 24 months. You know, so with that, Shalom, Kwam Yasharallah.